What's happening, folks? We're back to start going through one of my favorite games of all time. That is to say, the original Phantasy Star for the Sega Master System. So yeah, I've talked about this a bit when I've been going through Shining Force CD, which admittedly ended a little bit earlier than I expected because there is a book 3, which is much shorter than books 1 and 2. But for whatever reason, like the emulator that I was playing it on, or like the ROM mixed with the emulator, it just wouldn't allow me to have an extra like save spot to open up disc 3. So the only way I could like try to create a new game was by deleting the game in which I had beaten the first 2 books. So yeah, I don't know why that happened, but I looked around online and it seems to be something that other people who played it on emulator dealt with. So yeah, unfortunately those last 2 books, which again, book 4 is literally just a single battle that's like in a museum, as I think it's styled, which is to say it's like a museum holding all the bosses, but then they like all come alive. So just like the battle at the end of Shining Force 2, it's sort of this like add-on bonus battle where you just fight all the bosses in one go. But yeah, either way, I was very happy to go through Shining Force CD because it had been a long time since I had played that one. I found it very fun, so hopefully people enjoyed it. But as I mentioned, as I was getting near the end of that, I was especially excited to start this game, which is another old-school role-playing game, though different in style than the Shining Force games. And yeah, I played the first 2 Phantasy Stars, first one for the Sega Master System, number 2 for the Genesis or Mega Drive. And those are, again, 2 of my favorite games ever, so we're going to go through them in order. I never really played Shining Force 3 or 4, Phantasy Star 3 or 4, but there were some people online when I started talking about Phantasy Star who swore by the 3rd game and the 4th game, so I'd be willing to go through those too, though I'll be doing it for a first time, so I won't really have any context. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this, not only because it's a fantastic game, but because we're coming up on the holiday period. And again, hopefully I'll be posting this in early November. Long story short, but I wasn't able to post videos for a little bit for a ridiculous reason, but it's being dealt with right now. So hopefully by the time you're seeing this on my YouTube, it's early November of 2025. And I don't think I'll have the ability to beat the game before Christmas because it is a long game. I mean, we're talking like, 60, 70, 80 hours of gameplay as I remember it. And of course, it depends on, how quickly you can get through some of these large, like, dungeons and, like, I don't know what you call them, like palaces, mansions, pyramids. But yes, ultimately, it'll depend on how I can get through them. I'm going to try to do everything old school, meaning, I'm not going to be looking at walkthroughs or maps or anything, but if I do run into trouble and it's really taking me time to get through something, I may go down that route. But again, I've beaten this game traditionally, as you might say, when I was a kid, so I don't think it should be a terrible struggle. It'll just require a lot of time and effort, so hopefully people are here for the full journey. Let's get started. This is Phantasy Star for the Sega Master System, 1988. And yes, as you can see here, the main character that you control is a woman. And I don't know if it was unprecedented at the time, but certainly even in the late 80s, most main characters, especially like in role-playing games, they were almost always guys. So I remember just being impressed. They're like, oh, that's cool. Like, you play as a woman, that's like, it's unexpected. And Alice, which is her name, A-L-I-S, she is pretty awesome, as we'll find out. And as you might even think, given her sword-wielding, armor-sporting look here. But yeah, let's get going. This is going to be such a fun journey. I can't wait. So you saw Caminite, which is the name of the town we're in, and then Palma. It's one of the 3 planets in the Algol star system. Is it Algol or Algo? I forget which. But yeah, there are 3 planets in this star system. Apparently my brother was an investigative journalist. But yeah, as you can tell, you know, there's like these, let's call them stormtroopers, not like in a Star Wars way, but again, in a sort of like, you know, paramilitary, secret police sort of manner that apparently killed my brother Nero for looking into Lassic. We don't know who he is, but we presume he is the leader of the government, whether on Palma or more generally. As an editor, it bothers me that that opening quotation mark, and again, with a name like that, you don't really need to put quotation marks around it, but yeah, it bothers me that that opening one is formatted in the wrong direction. But okay, so my brother's saying, yo, there's this strong guy, Odin, who might be able to help me avenge Nero and stop Lassic from leading Parma and or the entire system into destruction. It's like she had brown hair in the cutscene, now she has black hair? Okay. But this is my home, I think. Yep. Admittedly, a bit of a studio apartment. And I'm gonna, I guess, do this. That's hilarious. Well, you can tell I played this when I had my old cat, because Sole was the name of my old cat. So I'm trying to remember when that would have been. Probably like 2016, 2017, I'm not sure. So I think it's been maybe slightly less than a decade, maybe right around a decade, but yeah. I guess I'll just save over that because why not? I want to make sure of something though. Okay, because I want to check something. Because worst comes to worst, I can use save state, and given that this is a role-playing game, you know, it would basically be just like playing it as normal. But I just want to make sure. What is my... Okay, so MST at the bottom there does not mean Mystery Science Theater. It means like Meseta or something like that. I forget if that's the exact spelling. But that's the currency in this world and game. By the way, this is a badass tune, right? One of many in this game. Mesetas. Mesetas. Mesetas? I'm not sure. I think as a kid, me and my brother jokingly called them meatsas. How many meatsas do you have? Mesetas. But okay, so I'm gonna save the game. And then I'm gonna reset it and load, and I just want to make sure that I'll have the 50 meseta. Which will then make sure or convince me that the save system works. I mean, I guess it's obvious because those two earlier save games were there, but yeah, okay, we're good. That's the one with the door, right? Yeah. Side note, this kind of first-person, three-dimensional dungeon crawling, this was pretty innovative for the time. Okay, yes, Lucca, you're gonna have to jump down. I named this save state after you, but you will have to jump down. But yeah, I'm excited to play this game and also to play it during the holidays, because when I was a kid, you know, I always had like one role-playing game going on one of the systems that I had. And so the fact that I'll be playing this during the holidays is nostalgic. Yeah, but they won't let me go there right now, which you will find out in a moment when I try. Algol, there we go. No, tell me about him. Yeah, and I heard that's because of Lassic being a jerk. Alright. I mean, I'm not really sure I'm looking to make a deal. Oh, that's not good. See, unlike some role-playing games, although I should say, because I was about to talk some smack on Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, but I guess that's sort of like an action game mixed with a role-playing game. No, I'm good. Thank you, sir. Oh, that's right, he can tell you how long it takes till you get to the next level. That's very helpful. But yeah, unlike a game like Simon's Quest, the people in this game actually tell you useful information if you talk to them, whereas in Simon's Quest they tell you a bunch of nonsense that makes no sense. I gotta figure out... There's someone around here. Oh, my brother gave you a Laconian pot? Thank you for the pot, sir. And he's right. We don't know how yet, but I can tell you, as someone who has played this game, he's right. That will prove helpful. Okay, so they do look a bit like stormtroopers from Star Wars. It can't be denied. Alright, well, the reality is, we need to go start earning experience and make some money. I don't have a whole lot of hit points, nor do I have a helmet, or a shield, rather. I've got a sword and some light armor, or leather armor. How much... I always feel like getting intermediate items is sort of a waste of time, so I'm aiming for the ceramic shield. Also, I forget, there's another town around here which has swords, and another one which will have armor. So, yeah, colas and burgers, which presumably is a regional translation. I doubt that's what they are in the Japanese original, but yeah, cola and burgers. Not the best nutrition, but those are the healing items. Obviously a burger heals more than a cola, but early on I'll just get a couple colas. And I think... I'm trying to remember how you heal yourself in this game. I think if you go to the church, you can get healed. But it's... You have like a finite amount of hit points, obviously. And see how there's 2 HP on the right? That means there's 2 swarms here, 2 flies. And so they always show like one enemy, but the number of them that are actually there to be fought will be indicated by how many lines of, you know, hit points there are, so... Now here's another thing. When you beat enemies, they leave treasure chests behind. This game is full of chests. Also, I love the dramatic mountains in the background. Those are some pretty epic mountains. But when you open chests, there is a random chance that it will have one of two different kinds of traps. One kind of trap is like a spear will shoot out of it, which, you know, at some point we're going to get more people in my party, not just the guy Odin, but some others as well. And if a spear comes out, it hits one person in your party, it takes off HP. There are also some chests which have bombs in them, and when those go off, it hits everybody in your party and it takes off more HP. But it is a minority, but again, like, you know, if someone's already low on HP and you open a chest and there's a bomb in it, they could die, which, you know, is very annoying. So sometimes you, like, heal before. So here's my question. Do you heal, man? I'm trying to remember, like, how... Yeah, see, how, like... I think there's, like, hospitals, but maybe not in Caminite here. I also wonder if going to my own house, you know, like in Chrono Trigger, if you go to your own house, you can sleep. But no, I don't think that's the case. Nope. Well, I don't want to use those colas yet. I can tell you that the inside of this walled area is free of enemies. Although, actually, I think if you go in this forest, you can end up fighting people. But we don't want to go to the forest right now, because they have slightly tougher enemies. And at the very beginning, there it is, you're quite fragile. So I lost money on that deal, unfortunately. Yeah, there's like these sort of like eyes with wings called owl eyes. And actually, they're like the second tier of enemies like that. There's another called like wing eye. Those are the weakest ones. But in forest, you fight owl eyes, and right now they're too strong for me. So I will say, like, if you're down for this journey, you're gonna have to watch what is sometimes called experience farming. Sometimes people call it grinding. But you just gotta go out and fight enemies while you're waiting to go do more important things in the game. You just gotta build up the strength of your characters. Starting with Alice by herself here. So for right now, that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, see, I don't think I can beat 2 scorpions. This could be trouble. No, not good. Not good. Oh, this is very not good. Oof. Well, go to hell, Scorpion. I forgot just how weak you are at the start. I mean, it's really a challenge to start getting built up a little bit. Now, once I level up once or twice, I'll be able to start killing some of these early enemies a lot easier, and then I should be able to stay out for longer, which will allow me to make more money, and so everything starts... It's like a self-feeding process. Well, this is no good. Yeah, see, there's no way I'm gonna kill 2 of them if I'm just taking off 1. Not cool, man. Can I fight some swarms, please? Alright, I think I can take one of you guys on. I do like 13 mesetas, or meatsas. I almost just want to keep calling them meatsas. I'm not going to do it, but... Oh, right. Four more experience points, I go up a level. And as you can see, with attacks and when people attack you, there's a degree of randomity. She looks like she's gonna go work at a club as a go-go dancer. Yep, Paseo is the capital city of the desert planet Motavia. Or Mota, as it's sometimes called. And this, I think, is the... well... trying to figure out which armory has swords, which one has... I think this is swords? Yeah. That's what we really need right there. Maybe even before the shield or the armor. Yep, we're gonna need one of those. So, again though, a flash is a... you use it to see in dungeons, but it's like a one-time use. You use it when you're in that dungeon, it works, but when you leave, it's gone. A magic lamp, you can use it infinitely. So obviously that'll be very helpful, but we're a long way away from getting that. Alright. Yep, we do need to go there. And you know what that guy said about making a deal? It's not wrong. I'll give you a heads up and I'll say that someone in Scion sells illegal government passes, or like counterfeit government passes, which we need to get into the spaceport. So, for the time being, that's our immediate goal. Although before we do that, again, I'm going to try to build Alice up a bit, get maybe a better sword at the very least. But yeah, eventually we got to go get a fake passport so that we can go to the spaceport. And yes, Medusa is in this game, and let me tell you, one of the best music tracks of the 8-bit era plays when you go to the pyramid/castle where Medusa resides, but that is way far down the line. We are many hours away, many hours away from getting to that part of the game. Yep, that's how the legend goes. He's not wrong. Especially early on when you're weak, he's not wrong. There are different enemies that show up in different areas. There's not only the forest and the wide open plains, but there's also these grasslands where there are specific enemies that you face there. Well, let's get a save. And as you can see, there is magic to be learned in the game. Alice does not know any spells yet, but she will eventually, I believe. And you can search the ground, which I don't think is relevant all that many times, but maybe once or twice. And obviously, like, when you get a treasure chest after a battle, you can choose not to open it yet and maybe heal yourself if you're worried about a trap, and then you can search and you can still open it. Alright, one more battle, I go up... Oh wait, no, that's right, I did go up a level, so probably... Does it show how far to the next one? No, it doesn't. But okay, so this should make fighting the scorpions a little easier. Yeah, because eventually you get faster than enemies, meaning you always strike first in a given round. And you obviously take off more, they take off less, so suddenly, you know, certain enemies become very easy fodder and you don't have to heal yourself after every battle. You can see the grasslands up there. Okay, I think I can do this. I do have 2 colas, right? Although it still takes off 1 sometimes, which is not helpful. Ow. I only have 1 cola? This is trouble. It's a good thing I just saved. I'm very happy I just saved. No, and you can't really control which one you attack, which is a notable issue. Yeah, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it. And I only have, what, 6 Meseta? Does it show? It doesn't show. Oh, 18. Okay, that's probably enough to heal myself. I guess it's 13 every time, or it's probably 13 per person, so if I had to heal 2 people, it would be 26, and so on. I wondered at first if it was based on how damaged you are, but I don't think it is. I think it's a standard fee. Yeah, so there'll be a lot of explaining in this opening installment, but I'm sure you're already getting a sense for everything, what the gameplay is like. taking a risk, walking through some trees. I don't have a cola, do I? Oh. Bastard fly. So it is scaled. Okay. It is scaled. Well, that's annoying because it leaves me without enough money to buy a cola. Or a pop, as they say in Canada. Yeah, I don't know about this. No, it's not gonna happen. Fuck. Well, this is a real problem now. I'll use this one for problematic saves at difficult times. Please, 1 or 2 swarms only. Well, that backfired. Do it. What do I have? I have 6? Yeah, I can't do anything. Is there no way to load, like, in-game? I guess there isn't, is there? Well, that's annoying. Again, swarms, please. Is there like a swarm shortage? Say swarm shortage 3 times fast, I dare you. But see, 2 of them is a problem. Elastic had nothing to do with it. Alice's power could not overcome the swarms. Elastic doesn't even know I exist, man. Hello? Anybody? That's what I need. And that's still not enough to get healed, because it's 3. Motherfucker. That's not what I meant to do. Well, this is just a nightmare. Alright, well that'll get me a cola. I don't ever remember this opening part giving me such trouble. See, I need more of those battles where I lose 1 hit point, though again, 3 Mesettas is not nearly enough. I need to fight another swarm. A couple of them. But maybe ideally in 2 separate encounters. So I can get healed at the hospital. Well, here goes nothing. See, when they take off 2, that really... Yeah, see? It makes it impossible. I think maybe I could get 1 scorpion, which would definitely be enough to get me healed. Alright. Not if I only take off 2 with every strike. Oh god. Oh god. I mean, are you serious, game? The randomizer is a bit suspect. These are the kind of games. If you were alive back in the 80s, folks, games had no mercy. Even right at the beginning, they were hard as nails. Oh my god, see? It's impossible. There's... Now I can't do anything, right? Do I have enough even for a cola? I do. Well, but if that's the case, I might as well just reset, because I had more hit points. I'm hoping when I go up the next level, I'll finally be strong enough that they'll only take off 1 hit point every time, and I'll take off mostly more than 1 or 2, but until then... Okay, not far away. Could you not take off one every time, Alice? That would be helpful. Alright, please. One swarm. One swarm. That is helpful. Did I die? First trap, 1 hit point, right? 2 hit points. So those become proportionate. Like in the early stages, a spear or a bomb, it'll take off only a few hit points. Again, singularly or for a group. But once you get stronger, they scale it. So like, let's say I had like 100 hit points. That would have taken off like, 25 or 30 or something. Well, no, it's not, obviously. Oh, please be careful. Jog on. I'm gonna vandalize your little hut on my way out. So what, I just gotta buy another cola? This game could really use a place where I can heal for free. Oh, in fact, hold on. There is one. I know why. I know what the issue is. I know why this is harder than it used to be. There's a woman, her name, I even remember the name, it's like Swello or something. She's over here in Caminite and she'll heal me for free. I knew there was something I was missing here. I think it's this one right here. Well, there you go. That's what it was. Because I was like, I don't ever remember having this much trouble at the start of the game, but that's why. Okay. It's all good now. You guys are in big trouble. I'm annoyed. Like, I remember going, sometimes many hours, 30 hours of gameplay before I ended up dying for the first time. Which is why I was so confused about what was just happening, but now it all makes sense. I forgot about Swello. Swello? I'm not sure how you'd say it. I love how that happens sometimes. Like, I kill one, but it just so happens that I killed the one that already attacked. Yeah, convenient. I love they took off 2 every time on that. That was fantastic. Why 2 every time? Why 2 every time, game? I just don't believe it. Am I or am I not getting stronger? Alice's pest control service. See how quickly the Meseta build up when you don't have to pay for healing? It is an indication, again, though, that I hadn't played this in a while, that I just kind of forgot about her at first. Oh, see, that's what we need. One-hit kills. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's funny, I remember... It doesn't happen yet, but this dungeon, and again, in a lot of dungeons, you fight, like, you have to fight people. There's nothing here right now. Like, if I search, nothing happens. But, I can tell you, at some point, this dungeon may be more than just a storage place for 50 Meseta. It would help if they could only take off one. Thank you. I think I can do this? Ah. Alright, see, that is nice. In fact, let's go find out how much until the next level. Alright. We're making progress here. Suelo was the key. And yeah, once I get a bit stronger, I can start... Oh, I learned a spell. Is it heal? I'm trying to... I don't know if it's called heal. I think it is. Yeah, okay. That changes things. I got my own magical cola game. What do you think about that? $34. Get more and more hit points. You can stay out and fight longer. I mean, again, if you saw my playthrough of Chrono Trigger, you'll know certain types of role-playing games, you just have to do this early on. You just have to start building up your characters. I will be a little more adventurous, though. Go into a forest, we might run into an owl bear, but we won't worry about that. Yeah, I think I said owl eye earlier. I think it's wing eye is the weakest form, and then owl bear is like the second form. Ow. I'm trying to remember how much the fake government pass is. And so this will be the armory with the armor, correct? We need some of that zirconian armor. So that's secrets. That's the secret counterfeit passport. I think when you first try to buy it, he's like, no, man, I don't know where you heard about that, but I can't sell it to you. And I think you have to, like, go back to him a couple times, and then he's like, all right, well, fine, I'll sell it to you, but you can't tell anyone where you got it. Yep, that's true. Some forests, it's like, no, you can't go in here. You'll get lost. You need a compass. Okay, I'm listening. So now we've heard that there was like a magical beast that was in Medusa's cave, but he was sold, or it was sold, to a merchant from Paseo, which we know is on Motavia. So maybe we need to get a passport, get to the spaceport, go to Motavia, and maybe see if we can find that merchant. And no, there's not really anything on the end of these little walkways, if I recall correctly. Yeah. So Bea Melee is like I think it's a peninsula. But again, all these locations will play prominent roles. So, okay, now we find out that Odin went to wherever that cave was, which I think they said was in the south, to kill Medusa. Went with an animal that can speak. So now we learn that maybe that magical animal that was sold to a merchant on Paseo not only can speak, but that he has medicine. We wonder what happened to Odin. Okay, got it. So a dungeon key will do us no good on a magic door. Got it. Dude wants to meet some aliens or indigenous inhabitants of other planets. No, I know you're gonna tell me that again. I didn't mean to walk into you. Yeah, in this game, like, you don't even hit a button. If you walk into someone, it's like, oh, that's it. You're having a conversation. Okay, so it's a hill. Yep. And as we'll eventually find out, it's for good reason. Okay, so I need a little bit more money. I can get the passport. And then we are gonna go to Matavia. And thankfully, the spaceport is like a public transit system. So even though right now Caminite is in martial law, I don't think it costs us anything to fly to Matavia and back. So we're gonna go see about that animal. I don't know if we can beat 2 owlbears. I should have saved. I do have 2 heals. I think heal takes 2. 1 owlbear would be tough enough. I'm not sure how this is gonna go. And again, I wish you could like tell your character to concentrate on one enemy so that you could only be getting hit by one sooner rather than later. But no, it's like, I'm gonna alternate, okay? Yeah, I think I got this, but it'll take everything I have. Also, it doesn't really look like an owl or a bear, it has to be said. It's more like a bat eye. I mean, 1 hit point on one of them? Really? One hit point on one of them. And now he'll attack, or she'll attack the other one. Oh, thank God. Ten experience points is good, though. But it's not... I feel like fighting 2 scorpions is more productive because they won't hurt me as much, they're easier to kill, and they give nearly as much money. I have enough to go get the passport. Okay, before I go get the passport, I'm actually going to make some tea and actually get a quick snack. So this might take me a few minutes, I apologize. But of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can just zoom ahead to the time where I return. But you could also use this time to go get yourself a snack. So yeah, I'll be back at, I'd say, I don't know, 3-4 minutes, something like that. Bear with me. I'll see you in a moment. Okay. Apologies, a little bit longer than I intended, but... We don't want to go to the coast yet. The coast has some notably harder enemies that we're not ready for yet. You got it, bud. Yeah, lady, it looks like your government pass says you're 275 pounds and male, so I think we'll let you go through. Alright. Well, I guess that's who we need to talk to. So yeah, that one guy mentioned that there is a legend that a spaceship was once built in a Gothic laboratory. Gothic is like, it's near the forest. Anyway, again, without spoiling too much, at some point we may be able to get our own spaceship and we won't have to rely on the public spaceship system. Well, I don't have it right now. Thank you. So, okay, yeah, we gotta go make some more money, then we can go to Motavia. Can I fight like 3 scorpions? That would help. Also, I do remember, once you start getting other members in your party, the quantities of enemies you fight increase. So instead of 1 or 2 scorpions, it'll be like 3 or 4 scorpions and so on. See if we can get a wing eye but avoid a tarantula, because we're not yet strong enough to fight tarantulas, which are very big. Though at some point, we might learn a spell that would allow us to talk to some enemies instead of fighting them. Tarantulas being one of them. What are we at? Meseta-wise? Alright, I got enough. Let's go to another planet. And once again, I do apologize, this opening playthrough will have more experience farming or grinding than pretty much everyone else that follows it. Because eventually, you know, you start having to defeat these... Oh, whoops. Oh. Oh. Now, nothing will happen right now. But I can tell you, this little manhole is actually a way to the Gothic Forest. But yeah, the game will get to the point where we'll have to beat these dungeons and fortresses, and again with a lot of dungeon crawling inside them. But once we get to that point, you know, you're getting a lot of experience while you're also doing narrative related aspects of the game. Now still, there will be experience gathering at later stages and in later installments, but maybe none so intensively as this first playthrough, so bear with me. Alright. I guess I lied on my passport application, right? Because I did buy an illegal government pass to get over to the spaceport to begin with. But hey man, I gotta get to Motavia, I gotta avenge my brother's death. Oh, little village there, okay. It's annoying they cut off that track. If it keeps going longer, it gets really good. They cut it off like right as it's about to go into another phase. Alright, there's a cake shop and a cave called Nala on Palma. Okay. Hi, Lucca. Please don't attack my microphone. Yep. So antlions, I don't know about roaming. It's more like they dot the landscape of Motavia, and you can't pass them. Like, even if you defeat them, you can't get, like, past them. So, long story short, we gotta find a ground vehicle which will allow us to drive over them and past them, but we can't do that yet. That's for a later installment. Maybe. We'll see. I feel like playing a long installment here for the opening one, which is what I try to do for a lot of these longer gaming playthroughs. So I hope you're up for another hour or two, maybe more. We'll see. Gotta find... Where are you, sir? So I've heard. Yeah, see, I was just explaining that. I'm glad that you concurred, but I was just explaining that. Aha! So, we heard there's a cake shop and a cave, which is a weird place to have a cake shop, that's fair to say. But perhaps, if we get a cake, we could get an audience with the governor of Motavia. Okay, so for the time being, we can assume that we do indeed need to make good friends with the Motavian governor, because he is also opposed to Lassic. Oh, do you? Okay. No. Meow. It's meow. I've got a cat in my party. And Meow, I think I used to call him as a kid Mayu, but I think the joke is that it's Meow. But yeah, Meow is maybe my favorite character behind Alice. He's just awesome. Yep. And we get it. It has to be cake. Yep, we definitely got to go there too. And I even made hint to that already. Some monsters can be spoken to instead of fought, though you do need a spell to make that happen. Although there's actually some native Motavians that you can just talk to without a spell, though you can also fight them. Alright, so back to... Actually, hold on. Oh wait, no, because see, Swello isn't here, so there's no point in really fighting Motavian enemies because I don't want to have to pay to heal. So let's go back to Parma, let's fight a little bit more, get Mayu, as I once called him. I'm really going to try to call him Meow though. But yeah, I'm going to try to get Meow leveled up some, as well as Alice leveled up some more. Understood. So again, this makes fighting a bit easier, and yet they offset that by increasing the quantity of enemies we face. Not always, though, as you can see. But for the first time, we're probably going to start fighting 3 or even 4 enemies now that I have Meow. Touche, game. Touche. I like how Meow's attack animation is shown as claws swiping across the enemy. Yep, we were all waiting for it. And I don't think he knows it yet, but Meow eventually learns an even better healing spell called Cure, which heals more. But, again, we have to level him up. Now, we don't want to go... Oh, no. Oh, no. I didn't think I was actually on the coast. Yeah, we're gonna die. Yeah, we're dead. I don't think I was actually on the coast. I'd like to point that out. But see, again, we're not ready for the coast yet. But there was a cave that I was trying to go over and show you. I'm glad I just saved right before that. We do not want to go in here yet. Not only because we don't have a flash, but that cave comes later. Oh, I see. I thought we were fighting a very different enemy. I thought we were fighting... See, that's what happens when you're not paying attention. I thought it was an owlbear, but no, it was a gold lens. See the fine margins? See why you have to level up? Which should mean only a few more experience points for Alice to go up a level. Another spell. Please tell me it's fire. She learns an attack spell pretty early on, I think. Oh, but it won't show it there. It'll show it here. Oh, buy. I think buy is... you can leave a battle and they can't really block you. It's like a magic way to leave a battle. At Masetta-wise, 75. I gotta get Alice a stronger sword. I think that's the first thing I gotta do. So obviously we're gonna have to farm for a bit. I also need to remember exactly where the cave with Odin is. I think I gotta buy a compass, because I think if we go down here... I think coming up down here is the Epi Forest, which we can't go in without the compass. Yeah. Okay, so I believe this is the cave where we can find the Turn to Stone Odin. Grassland enemy, there they are, Wing Eyes. These are the weakest of these, or of this form of enemy. Apparently we don't want to mess with Goldens, or Goldlens. Not yet, anyway. But just wait till I get my, what was it, Zirconian sword, or was that the armor? I forget which. Yeah, I think that was the armor. Or maybe a shield. But once we get Alice decked out, and admittedly, Meow can get items too, but they're more rare. I think there's like one defensive item you can get in the entire game. It's like thick fur. And then I think there's maybe 2 different kind of fangs that you can get for him, which is funny because again, the animation seems to show a claw swipe, but yeah, there's like iron fangs that you can get, and they greatly increase his attack. But it's not like Alice and Odin, where there's like, over the course of the game, a bunch of different weapon upgrades that you can get. I guess I gotta heal Meow. Both of them, I guess. I saw that you said yet there, game. I see you. Working our way, working our way. And again, once we level up a bit more, get a better sword, we can start taking on the fishmen and some of these other more powerful enemies. And then everything will start happening faster, because I'll be making more money per battle. And obviously getting more experience points, which will make the levels go up quicker. It's an exponential, self-feeding process. Also, bombs in chests don't help. I like explosive chests, but only in terms of their value and volume, not actual explosives. Yeah, not now. Eventually we can talk to them, we can also defeat them if we're a little stronger, but I think right now it'd be a tough ask. I'm gonna go see... Okay, so... We're gonna hear the music. We're gonna hear the music. Oh, wait, what? The swarm's like, no. Hold on, you gotta fight us before you get to hear the music. And I don't just mean any old music, I mean the music. it won't let us in. Yeah, I need magic to open that door, but... I thought it would let me play the music. Yeah, see, we gotta go... Oh. I don't think we want to go this way. I think this way is gonna be trouble. Whoa, here she comes. I know I don't have Daryl Hall's voice, but just imagine that I sung it with his vocal dexterity and quality. See that hill down there? That's Bea Melee. And again, it'll be a prominent location. It'll be like, no, you can't go anywhere, bro. You don't have a flash. And you also saw there was some lava up there, which you can walk across, but it takes a lot of HP on each step. So you either have to have some protection, or pack a lot of burgers and hope that you can get through. Another spell? Is it fire? Please tell me it's fire. Oh, it's chat. So now we can talk to tarantulas if we want. It's not really worth much. They don't really tell you anything all that interesting, but I still think it's cool that you can choose to converse with some more intelligent monsters. I do remember now, if you hang around Scion or Skyon, there seems to be a lot of scorpions on this side, whereas on the other side of this little valley, over by Kamenit and what was the other one? Starts with a P. I forget what the city on the other side of the spaceport is called. But yeah, you end up fighting more swarms. I'll take nearly 40 Meseta. You notice we're starting to dodge. We're starting to get fast enough that very weak enemies have no chance. Thanks, Swellow. Alright, I think we're roughly halfway to the sword that I want. Also, where was the swarm carrying the treasure chest? I know you've all been wondering. I don't have any clear answers. Yeah, Dead Tree, I think one tier up from the man-eaters. Maybe it's the other way around. I think they're roughly the same difficulty, but yeah, I think the dead trees are slightly harder. Especially when there's 3 of them. Oh, so they don't give all that much experience, but they do give a nice amount of Meseta per enemy. Lucca is meowing at me. Yeah, definitely man-eaters are not as strong. Lucca is meowing at me. I may have to feed her. I'm gonna try something, because when I play games that have precision timing and where my comments being in a very specific place are more important, games like Mario Kart or even Super Mario World, you know, any slight discrepancy between the video and audio file can be unfortunate, because it either means, you know, my reaction to something will be early, which like won't even make sense. You know, you'll hear me like exclaim before my character's been hit, or if it's late, you know, I seem like I'm sedated or something. It's like, why, you know, it's like 2 seconds earlier, what happened? But a game like this, even though there are moments where I might react to something that happens in a battle and its specific placement, you know, could be more significant, generally speaking, this is a game where I can just kind of, you know, have commentary where I'm just, you know, talking about places in the game, characters in the game, like what to expect and so on. So it's not as important if it's absolutely precise. I'm gonna try pausing. So yeah, I'm gonna feed Lucca, refresh my tea, but this time I'm gonna see if I can make it so it's like instantaneous for you guys. So yeah, I'm gonna pause. Here we go, here goes nothing. Okay, I think it worked. At the very least, I don't think it would have been desynced by more than a few milliseconds, so as I said, in a game like this, I think it should be fine. I still will be hesitant to do that in a game like Mario Kart, where, again, even like a quarter of a second difference, and it might make the audio commentary weird, but for a game like this, I think it'll be alright. And given that I tried fully pausing it there, you know, I only got like a tiny snack earlier, but I actually just ate like a proper meal. So, yeah, now I feel refreshed, and as I said, I'd like to make this a longer playthrough, so let's keep going for another couple hours or something, if you're up for it. Let's see if we can't go fight one of these gold lens. You should be embarrassed, Alice, that Meow took off 9 on his first attack and you took off 1. That's all I'm saying. Hello, Golden Scorpy. Presumably Gold Scorpion. Hey, we actually focused on one single enemy. That was helpful. Wow, I like this trend, guys. Keep it up. That, however, was less enjoyable. Oh, okay, that's his max right now. Alright, we'll try fighting him, and if it looks like they're gonna... Oh! Alright. Oh, no. Well, we're all dead. So, it doesn't work? I guess maybe it didn't work because I started fighting them before I tried talking. Oh, not Ace. No, not Ace. Well, that's still annoying. Yeah, I think I have to use chat before I start fighting them, or the tarantula's like, look, bro. I don't talk to humans that attack me with a sword. Oof, that's a lot of them. But alright. You love those traps, don't you, game? Oh, we definitely don't want to fight these guys yet. Oh, come on, don't even... It's amazing. You are funny, game. It's funny, right? It's funny. You are funny, game. I run away from them, and one step later, there's 3 of them instead of 2 of them? Please, now. I feel like Wing Eye is, once again, a lot more accurate than Owlbear. We're gonna put this to the test. Oh shit, that means we're dead. I guess it's... oh, come on. Well, this should be interesting. 1 vampire, I think we might be able to... Never mind? Yeah, I guess he is, isn't he? Alright, Alice, what do you got? Oh... So I guess we're not quite ready for this peninsula. Like, we're ready for the smaller monsters on this peninsula. God damn it. But not the stronger ones. Like man-eaters, dead trees, golden scorpions, no problem. Maybe even a gold lens if I'm paying attention enough to know who I'm fighting. But vampires... no. Tarantulas, no. Skullens, definitely not, although they don't seem to be up here. They seem to be down by the Epi Forest. Alright, that should be enough to get back. I say that. That is one good thing, though. When you get faster, like, regular run works more often, as you can see. I mean, can I go more than 2 steps, please? Oh, God. Alright, you guys asked for it. You didn't let me leave. How is it 4 and then 3? I'd like to point out again, you guys could have let me leave. But no, you wanted to rumble. And you're all dead because of it. Why in the forest? Okay. Fine. And you know what? I'm not even gonna risk it, because I don't want it to blow up in my face. Not for 3 Meseta, anyway. Oh, look at that. I mean, it's a little bit of a setback. But we're getting close to what I need to buy something good. Oh, whoops. Not what I wanted to do. I'm wondering if maybe armor rather than the sword, because it's like I'm not really having a problem killing people, I'm having problems staying alive, so now I'm suddenly thinking I should shift my strategy. I mean, eventually, I want to get all 3 of them before I try to go get Odin. But thinking about the order, I mean, can I walk like 1 foot? No, I can't. I literally can't walk more than 1 foot. Sometimes that happens in dungeons. It really starts overloading you with enemies. I'll never forget, I won't say what it is, but on Deseris, or Deseri, as I think me and my brother used to call it, but Deseris, the ice planet, there's a really tough type of enemy. You fight them both out on the the world map and in some of the dungeons. And we had just gone through a very long journey through one of the dungeons to get something, and we were on our way back out. And we got like to the final hallway leading to the door that exits, and right when we got there, like one step before the end, we ran into, I think it was like 5 of this really tough type of enemy, and we were just like, fuck, because like we had, you know, low MP for our different characters. I think we'd used most of our burgers, if not all of them, and it was just like, fuck. And it's funny, because like in the moment, I don't remember if we survived and were able to get out, or if we ended up dying, but it was like, we were one step away from leaving the dungeon, and the game was like, no, like, we're throwing 5 of these guys at you. Yeah, I think like scorpions are the best option at this point because they give decent money, but they're basically instant kills. So if you fight 4 of them, you're making over 50 Meseta. So I'm gonna hang out by Skyon for a little bit. Admittedly, fighting swarms is more of an annoyance now than anything else, but I need them scorpions. Yeah, I think in terms of what you lose compared to what you get, right now scorpions are the best deal. Isn't it funny, like I haven't played this game for maybe a decade, and you know, I originally played it like not 40 years ago, but you know, like 35 years ago, whatever it is. And I still remember that around this particular town, you fight a lot of like a certain type of enemy. It's weird. Meanwhile, I forgot that Suelo existed, which is very bizarre. How does a swarm take off 4? There's a super swarm. I think you want to check that swarm's water bottle for anabolic steroids. Whoa, ho, there he went. That's what I'm talking about. What are we looking at, like 1,300, something like that? 1,400. I think that's just about enough for the most expensive of the 3 items I'm looking to get. We're getting there. We're getting there. And as I said, I thank all those who are willing to go with me on this journey. And I once again must insist that this first installment is going to be the one with the most amount of, not mindless battling, but again, sort of experience gathering. So future installments will have more purposeful activity. Although again, I'm going to play a longer playthrough on this one. I have resolved to that now. And we'll do some stuff. Again, we already went and got Meow. I'm hoping to get Odin before the end of this playthrough. He's not the last person we'll add. I'll give a hint. There are 3 other people that join you. We've gotten Meow. Odin will be number 3. Or number 2 who joins. Number 3 overall. And then there's one more person we're gonna get. Once again, 4 scorpions is exactly what I'm talking about. Alright, let's go inside Skyon, or let's not. Let's fight some swarms first. Excellent. Now her defense should be notably better. That should tell you just how weak the armor I was wearing was. 14 Meseta on Sellback. Alright, so what are we at? Like 400 something? 500 something? Not bad. I think it's the shield that's the very expensive one. So I think next we get the sword, which will increase our attack, obviously. Or Alice's attack. Then we get the shield, and then it is time to go get Odin. And yeah, fighting 4 scorpions is basically ideal. It really is ideal. Once again, Suelo, you are a peach. And we appreciate your healing services. I'll tell you a funny story. So, this game, you saw when I started a new game, it played that music. It was like bum 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 bum, and it showed Palma and, you know, we zoomed in and we saw what happened to Nero and all that. But yeah, when you start a new game, that's what it shows you. And obviously, if there are no games to continue, even if you hit continue, the game knows that there aren't any saves waiting, and it just initiates the beginning game sequence. So, back in the day, my brother had a Genesis, but he didn't actually have the Master System. The Master System came first. It was the 8-bit Sega system, and then the Genesis came next, and it was the 16-bit system. But they eventually made this converter, which I think it was just called like the Master System Converter or something like that, meaning you could play Master System games on your Genesis. You plugged this thing into the top of your Genesis, and then you plugged Master System games into it. And even though it was, you know, developed for a different system, an earlier system, you could play it on your Genesis. So that's what we did. That's how we had Phantasy Star. We had the Phantasy Star game, even though we didn't have an actual Master System. We had the converter for the Genesis. But I think there was some weird thing with, maybe it was just our converter, I'm not sure. Every once in a while, it would like auto-wipe your game saves. Like, suddenly the game saves that you had on a given game would be gone. So, one of the times my brother and I played this, which again, back in the day, I played a lot of role-playing games with my brother. Like, you know, we would both kind of take turns playing. Like, you know, one of us would do a dungeon, and then other times, like, you know, the other person would walk around and get experience and so on. So we played this game and we got extremely deep into the game. Like, I now know that we were very, very close to beating it. And I won't give away details of, you know, where we were, or who we were fighting, or whatever. But we got to what we thought was basically the end of the game. It turns out there's a little bit more after that. But even so, we were like, again, 60 hours, something of gameplay into it. And very, very far. So, we got defeated by an enemy, a notable enemy, and we were like, okay, no big deal, you know, we saved right before that, like, we're almost done, and I think at that precise moment, my parents were like, oh, hey, you know, it's dinner, come downstairs for dinner, so we're like, alright, we'll come back after dinner, and we're gonna beat this game. We were all fired up about it. So then we come back after dinner, turn on the Genesis, put in the converter, or, you know, I think we left everything plugged in. We turn on the, you know, the Master System converter, have Phantasy Star in, it goes to that opening page, start and continue. And my brother selects continue, and the game does it bum 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 bum, and it shows Palma, and we're like, what the fuck? And we like reset it, we checked again, nope, the game saves had been wiped. So two things. One, you know, this was an era before, like, you know, save states, or like, basically there was nothing we could do about it. Our entire attempt, our entire run-through of the game, which again had spanned multiple weeks, it was like, you know, 50, 60 hours in gameplay, whatever it was, all gone. And as a result of that happening, I don't know, like, we became sort of neurotic about saving our game. We'd, like, always save our game. Now, to be fair, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, it wasn't like, you know, we had gone 5 or 6 hours without doing a save, which, you know, that would be naive, because then if you die, it's like everything that you did for 5 hours is gone. But that experience was traumatizing. It was like, oh my god, like, we've just wasted the last month because the game just vanished our game save. It was such a nightmare. So yeah, it's sort of like a legendary moment in the history of gaming in the Snyder family. And, you know, there was a time many years later, like, I don't know, maybe a decade ago. In fact, I think it was when I played this game on this emulator, you know, where the Ace and Sole saves came from. And I mentioned to my brother that I was playing it again. I was like, oh, you know, I started in my spare time playing some Phantasy Star, the original one. And I think without missing a beat, my brother instantly was like, bum, 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 bum. I was like, oh my god, like, don't bring that up, dude. Like, don't bring that up. Like, how dare you? Like, what a catastrophe that was. So there you go. The story of the Phantasy Star lost game after like 60 plus hours of gameplay. But that will not be happening this time. because this emulator and the ROM are more reliable than early 90s hardware. And again, I think it had to do something with the converter. Like, I don't know if that would have happened if we were playing on an original Sega Master System. Now, obviously, if you're playing a short-term game, you know, like, they didn't have Mario, and, like, Actually, I do think Sonic was on the Master System, although I think Sonic became famous for the version on the Genesis. But yeah, if you're playing, like, a one-off kind of game, then that thing would, you know, that wouldn't matter. Like, you know, you just start playing again, and, you know, it'd take you a couple hours of gameplay to beat a game like that. But for a game like this long, involved role-playing game, it was devastating. I know, like, what privileged children we were, right? Like, there are people out there of, like, serious problems, but, you know, to a relatively comfortable, I don't know, 10-year-old, whatever I was, it was a traumatic event. What are we looking at now? Like, maybe almost 800? Oh, 940. See how much more quickly it's going? In a moment, I'm gonna have to get some more tea, but I'm gonna do a couple more battles before I do that. Ideally, not against swarms. Meow. I like that. What did you learn? Please tell me you learned Cure. Yes. That's big. I forget how much it heals. It might be like 50 or something like that, but... I like how this swarm isn't even moving. Oh, there we go. Don't lie, this song, the Palma World Map track, it's gonna find its way into your dreams. You're just gonna find yourself humming it in the daytime. I will say also, I do very much enjoy the Palma World Map music, but of the 3 planets, I think it has the least interesting world map music. The ones for Motavia and Deseris are even better. Okay, let me get a save, and then as I said, I'm gonna take another risk, and I'm gonna do this pausing thing, which I know will make it much more convenient for you folks. You don't have to jump ahead in time, and I don't think it'll make that much of a difference in terms of the timing of the video. Okay, so let me prepare to do this once again. Alright, here we go. I'll see you in a moment. Okay. Hopefully we're still synced up here, but yeah, so... I'm trying to remember, like, I know one of the items for Meow is one of the fangs that you can get in that cave over on the peninsula over there, but I don't think we're strong enough to do that yet, and I think we'd probably want Odin first. But I'm having this memory nagging. I don't know if it's accurate, but we're about to find out that the thick fur, which is I think one of 2 items, I think there's like another defensive item that Meow can get, although I think that comes much later, but I think the thick fur, you can actually like buy it in Paseo. We're gonna find out. And if it's not true, I guess we'll take a spaceship flight just for fun. Just a hint at the awesome music of Motavia there. What do you... Oh, look at that. My god. At some point we'll have to get that, but that's gonna take a little while. Nope, not for now. Alright, so this time let me just check the difference that it'll make. So his defense is 41, right? It's plus 30. What's up? Not even that expensive either. Let's go. Alright. Well, again, it set me back over 600, but anything that can make both of them survive better will aid us in our quest. Lucca is headbutting my leg. Do you want to jump up? Is that the plan? No, it looks like she's gonna go jump up on her chair, her reaction chair. There's something else I want to check. Although, I don't know if I should check it right now, because I'm again thinking that maybe... Again, there's two different fangs that Meow can get. One of them is in that cave, but I think there's a better one in a town. But I'm not sure we can get to the town right now. I think it would make sense if we couldn't, right? Like, it would make sense if we could only access a town where there's an even better item later. But I'm gonna check something. Oh, in fact, I think the town I'm thinking of, we have to cross the lava to get to. I don't think we can get to it this way. Well, we both have upgraded defense. I did just save. Let's give it a shot. Oh, I don't know. That's still 10 points. Let's see what we can do here. One more attack for each, and then we both heal. That really doesn't help, though. Oh, that really doesn't help. I think it's possible. But we gotta have as few misses as possible. Oof. I love when it does that, it like rapid fires the sound effect. Yeah, and if you guys could take off 2, that would be very helpful. Or 3. Even 7 isn't terrible. It's when they take off like 10 or more that it's a problem. Oh, I think we got him. I think we got him. Although Mayu. Meow. You gotta not miss, man. I'm way ahead of you, Skullin. Let's go. 36 experience points. What's up? I feel like there should be more money for that. Let's get the hell out of here, though. Please, no. I like how I dodged, or Meow dodged, while he was tied up. Oh yeah, you messed with the wrong girl and cat. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Experience points, that's it. And that happens. Amazing. Do we have a cola? We do. Get up. Okay. Now at worst we encounter an owlbear on the way back. But yeah, I think the even better Fang... What am I doing? The even better Fang... You can buy it in a shop, but it'll be after we'd want to go get the first Fang in that castle, or that cave. $500. Alright. Some more work to do. I do think now, though, we could probably... I mean, this is still ideal, I think. But I think we could probably fight a vampire. I think some of the enemies on that peninsula will no longer be a big problem because we have much better defense. I know the fishmen are a very lucrative fight, because I think each one of them gives like 42 meseta, so if you fight like 3 of them, you're getting, you know, almost 150 meseta, but I think we need a bit better attack before we can start taking them on. But I do remember spending many an hour grinding by fighting fishmen on the shores of Palma. Also, like with the owlbear, I gotta point out, the dead tree is neither a tree nor dead. Well, I guess he is dead now, but you get my point. Alright, let's put it to the test. Admittedly, we're not taking off much attack-wise, but our defense is much better equipped. And I think the vampire is like already the second tier of this kind of enemy. I think like werebat or something, and they're blue. I think that's like the lower level version. I love all the little quirks of the sound effects when you sequence them differently. Like using a spell like affects the next attack sound and the next enemy attack sound and so on. And I like how all that's preserved. Oh, and we get a free flash for our troubles? Well, that's what I'm talking about. And 71 Meseta, that ain't bad. Alright. I think once I get the top sword, in what is it, Polyot or something like that? The town to the southwest of Kamenit, I think we'll be ready for the Fishmen, and that will greatly speed things up. I like this dead tree carrying around a treasure chest, and like Light Yagami, he's equipped it to explode should anyone try to investigate what's inside. I still haven't fought a gold lens after that one time. Meow, bitch, is what Meow just said. I knew that was gonna happen. And then I like other times it'll let you walk like 2 miles before a battle. Oh, Alice is very close. Very close. And what are we looking at money-wise? Alright. Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. I think this one will go until we get Odin. So I need to get the shield and the sword. Then we'll go get Odin. Come back to Kamenit and save the game, and that'll be our opening installment in what will be a very lengthy and involved journey. I mean, honestly, I'm guessing it'll be the longest one yet. I'm trying to think, what was the longest one? Was it Shining Force 1? Maybe it was Shining Force 2? Maybe even Shining Force CD. Shining Force CD, like, this is a long one. Because It's 13, like as of right now I haven't posted the 13th video, but I will be posting that before I post the first one of Phantasy Star here. But yeah, it was 13 videos, and a number of them were like 3 hours, 2.5. So, I don't know which of the 3 Shining Force journeys was longest. And then there's a question, was Chrono Trigger longer? I'm trying to remember how many videos Chrono Trigger was. And I know the last Chrono Trigger video was like 4 hours. But the last Shining Force 1 video, I think it was like 5 hours. It was like 4 hours and 45 minutes, so... I think all of those were longer than Star Control, but Star Control was another long one too. Yep, again, for the time being, I think this is still the most efficient battle to fight. 4 Scorpions. Over 52 Meseta, it takes like 10 seconds. And I barely get hit. But I do like that we got a free flash. When we go into the cave to get Odin, we've got our flash covered. You big jerk. Come on, 4 Scorpions. Close enough. I think that's enough for the sword. Let's go find out. Let's go. I mean, is it ceramic? That wouldn't really make sense. Like, I don't know how ceramic would be stronger than iron or titanium, but either way, it's the best sword on offer. Let's check out what this is going to do to her attack. So attack 29, right? $56. I like it. Now we just need that shield, and we're ready to go get Odin. Not yet. But when I go to get Odin, I'm definitely going to stock up on some burgers, too. Yep, it's like in this little inner area, the only place you can fight anyone is in this forest. Excellent. I think we're ready to go fight some fishmen. Though, I need a moment. With all this tea, I actually do need to use the restroom, and I think I'm going to give Lucca some treats. I will once again engage in my pausing technique, which I'm confident won't be a big issue, at least with this game. So here we go one more time. Okay. And we are back once again. Let's go see if we can take out a fishman. There's also another enemy. I forget exactly what they're called. They're like these big red, like crab-like things. Hey guys, I was just talking about you. Let's see how this goes. Oh yeah. Look how much Alice took off. It was like 20. Oh, I ain't worried about you guys at all. See how much they give us in experience. It still remains to be seen if this is more efficient than fighting scorpions. Because scorpions, again, you just kill them so fast. And again, if there's 4 of them, you're still getting over 50 Meseta. But that was 80 Meseta, as well as, like, I think double the experience or close to it. Alright, here's the test. Definitely tougher, but I think these guys are now very beatable. What a difference a little experience makes. You guys are not scary at all now. Oh yeah, 22 experience, that's good. Ow. That was uncalled for treasure chest. They're like, alright, you gonna talk some smack? Well, we brought a friend this time. Yeah, if all 3 of them are missing, that's 4 straight misses, 5 straight misses, 6 straight misses. Yeah, I ain't worried about you guys. Well, we now reach the stage where everything gets accelerated, because if we can fight these guys, we'll level up quicker, we'll get money quicker. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah, I need about 1,000 more, so still some work to do, but we're almost there. A single fishman? I feel like issuing John Cleese's lines as the French taunter in Monty Python's Holy Grail. No, Lucca, no. She's like, but I want to sit on the keyboard and mess everything up. What? Oh, she's in her determined mode. It's like, I put her down, she jumps back up. I put her down, she jumps back up. Lucca. Lucca. No. See what I mean? Lucca, you're messing with things. That's what I like to see, Alice. Where we at now? Oh yeah, we're getting there quick. While we're out here, just in case something catastrophic happens, we'll get a quick save in the category. Again, it might make sense, guys, to focus on one of the fishmen. Let's go back and have Swellow let us rest in her abode. Come back, do one more Fishman run, and I think we'll be ready. Good timing on that. See how far away. There are probably hundreds of experience points now. Because obviously as you go up levels, the next level is farther away. Like, it takes more and more experience to go up a level. Yep. Alright. I'm trying to remember, is it Caminite that has the shields? I'm trying to remember if that's correct. I feel like you're compensating, Big Club. I think you should just call yourself Club, and not be so presumptuous. You know, you gotta hand it to the fish man. He looks like he's having a good time. Sort of like a black sheep cousin to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Though admittedly, he doesn't look like any fish I've ever seen. Gotta be pretty damn close at this point. Oh yeah, we're right there. Whoops, I should have healed Meow. Probably should get like an extra couple hundred so I can get 4 or 5 burgers, something like that. Almost there. Got enough to buy the shield now. Just want to get enough for some burger money. Oh, wow. First time 4, right? Alright. But of course that makes me think of River City Ransom. Shout out to Michaela, who enjoyed the River City Ransom playthrough, which made me very happy, because that game, honestly, of the original Nintendo games, that one was seriously a contender for my favorite. I absolutely love that game. And side note, it's a franchise that actually came back in more recent years. There was a limited run of physical copies, but I think it was like a digital download that you could get. I'm trying to remember if it was for Xbox or one of the PlayStations, you know, like PlayStation 3 or something, but they made, number one, a remake of River City Ransom. Then there were like a couple others that they made which were like new games in the franchise, and one of them starred like the girls of River City, but they were all kind of the same concept. That, you know, you go around, you have to fight people, you get money, you know, buy items and food and so on. I think in each case the ultimate storyline goal of the game was a bit different. But yeah, they kind of had a similar look, obviously with better graphics and so on. But yeah, the River City franchise came back many years after River City Ransom, which again, like, in the original Japanese form, it was called like Kunio something, because it was, the main character was named Kunio, and he was a star of a bunch of games in Japan, but they didn't port all those games over to the US market. Like River City Ransom, I think, was the only one, so they kind of like, you know, they changed the dialogue and some of the names and just made it kind of like a one-off game, even though in Japan it was part of this larger series. But I do think it was sort of a sleeper hit in the US. So it was, I guess, always something that they thought, you know, maybe at some point in the future they can bring back, and they did. So, yeah. Shout out to River City Ransom, and if you know that game, if you enjoy that game and weren't aware, there is a one installment playthrough of it on my YouTube. I beat it in one sitting. Now, you know, it took me, I don't know, like 2.5 hours or something like that, though at the very end, not to spoil anything, but you'll see it was like a real kind of, you know, am I gonna survive? Will I whatever? But I did beat it, so. Alright, I think after this one we'll go back. We'll get the shield, we'll get our burgers, and we'll go save Odin from his stony state. And I think that'll be it for the first... Oh, look at that. That'll be it for the first installment. And then when we come back for installment 2, I think we'll start by going into that cave and getting Meow's iron claw, or whatever it is. What spell did you learn, Meow? Terror. I think that, like, intimidates some enemies, and they can't attack for a round or two because they're terrorized. Go away, owlbears. You bore me. I didn't say invite additional friends. I said leave me alone. Oh yeah, we got a few hundred extra. Excellent. So I think it's Caminite, right? I think that's where we get the shield. Because Scion or Skyon is where we got the armor, right? Wait, hold on. Hold on. Did I already have the shield? It's actually the armor I need to get, isn't it? No, it is the shield. Her defense is 90. Defense is 113. Let us go. Okay, so yeah, let's get some burgers. I mean, whoops, I didn't want a cola. But I think we'll get Odin with just the flash. But before I go get Meow's Iron Fang next time, I think we're gonna do some more money gathering and get the magic lamp, because that'll save us a lot of time later. God damn it. And just in case I accident, because sometimes like you're wandering around in the maze and you get a bit turned around and you end up like going outside, and if I do that, the flash, oh. I think the Trancer flies us back home, so we don't have to walk back, but I'm not too worried about that because the cave is so close. But sometimes if you're in a cave that's like far away from a town, you get one of those transfers, and it takes you right back to the town. But, okay, so... yeah, like I said, now we have 2 flashes in case I accidentally leave, which will make, you know, the flash that I was using go away, unfortunately. Alright, let's go get Odin. And give me 1 more minute. I want to reheat my tea. So let me do this little pause technique once again. 1 second. Okay. Let us go get our man. Please don't bomb me. Thank you. Again, please don't bomb me on my way to the cave. Alright, let's do this. So, yeah, I'm not going to look at maps unless it's, like, really taking a long time and so on. I just, like, when I was young, in fact, you know, my brother was older than me, so when we played some of these games together, he would kind of want to do the, like, really important stuff. You know, like fighting a boss, or, like, if we got to a new town, he'd kind of take over. But the one exception to that is I proved to be pretty good going through caves and kind of finding my way, and I wasn't really like mapping things out of my head. I just kind of had this intuitive sense of which directions I had been, where I needed to go. I mean, honestly, it's a joke, right? Like, it's a joke. I can't even finish explaining things, and I found Odin. It's ridiculous. So because of that, I ended up, my brother would be like, look, you know, you play the cave, like, you know, because he would get lost. He'd end up, like, wandering around a lot, and he, like, couldn't find where he was supposed to be. What's up, dude? I modeled myself after Arnold. What do you think? Like, late 80s, early 90s Arnold. Well, but you could team up with us, and we'd all improve each other's odds. You know, for fighting a whole bunch of fishmen for hours and hours, she looks pretty good, right? Like, her makeup's still in place, still got the lipstick. Well, you are an honorable man, Odin, and I appreciate that. Aha, that compass will allow us to get into Epi Forest. So yeah, literally I found Odin before we even fought anyone in here. Now we're gonna have to level him up quickly. Now Odin, he uses axes, and as you heard him say there is a mystic axe that he wants to get his hands on. Wow, look at all the slime. But he also can use guns. There's guns in this game. One's a dart gun, I think, or like a needle gun. That's what it is, needle gun. And then there's a laser gun that we get later. And it's interesting, you know, like the Sword and Meow's attacks, they're kind of randomized, right? They take off different amounts depending on, you know, a roll of the dice, also the defense of the enemy. Well, guns are different than that. In this game, guns, like the needle gun takes off 5, I think, or maybe 10 off of every enemy you're fighting every time around, and it doesn't miss. The laser gun, I think, takes off 20 off everyone. So, you know, it depends on who you're fighting. Like, if you're fighting an enemy with weak defense, then it's actually better to use an axe because you could take off a whole lot. Whereas, again, with the gun, no matter how bad their defense, you're still just going to take off 10 or 20, whatever it is. But if you're fighting like 8 enemies, you know, or 6 enemies, whatever, ow, then it's actually better to have the gun because you just keep taking off, you know, 10 or 20 every time around. Not the compass. But yeah, so I think the first gun that we get might even be in the town of Epi. Hold on. I ain't gonna let you do me like that. I feel like there's gonna be a bomb in one of these. There is a spell that someone learns. I think it's Meow. It's exit. And this is the exit, right? Yeah. See, we don't want to do that. But yeah, exit allows you to leave a dungeon no matter where you are in it, which when you get to the more elaborate dungeons, which have like 4, 5, 6 levels, and not only do they have 4 or 5 or 6 levels, they have pitfalls, meaning you'll be like heading one way and then boom, you fall down to the level below, and you gotta try to, you know, get back upstairs again and whatever, which is very frustrating. But there's also that thing. See, Lucca, I knew you were gonna do that. I knew you were gonna do that. Where like, you know, you get the item or defeat the boss that you want to defeat, but you know, if you don't have MP, if you can't use exit, you gotta find your way all the way back out again, which again, without a map was like, you know, I got here, I don't remember exactly how to get back out, so yeah, we need Meow to learn exit sooner rather than later. Is it fire? Did she finally learn fire? She did. It's a good one. Bump, 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 bump. Please be the compass. Yes. Alright. Not bad at all. Now again, this cave is pretty basic compared to a lot of the caves that follow. I don't remember... I know we were just at the door. I can't help but think of Jello when I see these green slimes, but it admittedly reminds me that the spokesman for that company, not the nicest guy as it turns out. Okay, oh god, go away, Wing Eye. No one cares about you. It's not even really smart to open a chest after fighting a Wing Eye, because it's like so few Meseta, and the possibility of getting bombed makes it not really worth it. Odin's like, Meow, you got a lot stronger since I got turned into stone. What happened, man? There we go. You're on your way, Odin. Okay, so I think if I go down this long hall when I turn around, a left and a couple rights, I think that's where the exit is. Again, as a kid, I didn't even like write anything down. It wasn't like, oh, I turned left, then I turned right or whatever. I just kind of like, it was all feel, it was all vibes, as the kids would say. So that's how I'm going to try to do this playthrough. Though again, when we get to the more elaborate dungeons, I may have to be a little more studious and take notes, even though that's not what I did as a kid. Indeed, you know, you've heard Odin and others talk about Medusa. The tower, I think it's called the tower. Yes, the tower at Bea Melee, which we've heard reference, that big hill that's like behind that fortress with the magic door that we can't get by. That is one of the biggest, like, epic dungeons in the game. And I remember when I was going through, because it's like multiple floors, and if you don't go the right way, you can fall and so on. And I remember when I finally found my way to Medusa, it was like a really epic moment. Whereas, again, this dungeon, comparatively, so is it right and then right again? Instead of left like I was thinking? Oh god, go away, Wing Eyes. And they're fast, so they always go first, even though they're very weak. Yes, let's go. All right. Let's go, Odin. This is all going swimmingly. Why did that jump back? Whoa. There we go. No. You know this is going to be a bomb. I'm going to open it, but I know it. No? Alright. Fair enough, game. But I'm watching you. I know what you want to do. So yeah, I think we can also get Odin a shield. I'll have to check that, because I don't want to, like, you know, spend $1,400 or whatever, and then he can't even equip it. But I think he can also hold a shield. So we got to get him better armor, a shield. And yeah, I think the next weapon upgrade that he can get is a gun, which is, as I said, a little bit of a different kind of weapon, and it, you know, depends on who you're fighting if it's, like, actually better, but... So yeah, next time around we get the magic lamp, we get Odin better armor and a shield. We'll go into that cave on the peninsula, get Meow his Iron Fang, and then we go into the Epi Forest with our compass, and we start the next section of the game. Which I don't even remember exactly what happens. Like, there's some points along the way that I do remember, but not in all the details. So yeah, this will be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you enjoyed this opening installment. Obviously it was a bit of a long one, but I feel like it's cool to start off these RPG, like long playthroughs with a healthy first installment. So yeah, let me know what you think. And did I save it? I just want to save it to Ace as well. Yep. Alright, well yeah, like I said, let me know what you think. I hope you're up for the full journey, because this is going to be one heck of a playthrough. It's an amazing game. And as I mentioned, Shining Force, Phantasy Star 2 might even be better. So yeah, we have a long pair of journeys ahead of us, and it's going to be awesome. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time, adventurers. Peace!